Hi, I'm Dr. Lou from Advanced Animal Care in Richmond, and I am here with my pet Mushu, here to talk to you about cat wellness exams.
So what will my veterinarian be looking for during my cat's wellness exam?
So, with wellness exams, the first thing that we would look for is the behavior. If they're willing to, come out of their carrier, or if they're maybe a little bit too scared, something that I would look for is definitely how they behave. You see my cat Mushu, he loves the pets. He doesn't mind being in the hospital. I know some kitties tend to mind a lot. But the next step, I would look at their face, see if there's any discharge or anything like that. Lots of kitties tend to get really bad upper respiratory infections, and so that's also another thing. And then I would also go ahead and look in his mouth and double check how his teeth are looking. He's not cooperating the best with me here, but that's definitely another thing that I would look for. And then I would also kind of palpate his tummy. He's kind of wanting to jump off here and not cooperate. So Mushu decided to jump off the table. Typically, we will not let your cats jump off the table during an examination. But the next step would definitely be to palpate his tummy, see if there are any organs inside that are too big or too small, just at an abnormal sizing, or if there's any fluid in there. Typically with annual wellnesses, a lot of these kitties tend to be very healthy and are able to get vaccines to go home.
So will my cat's wellness exam require any specific lab work or procedures?
Typically for an annual wellness, I would love to be able to draw some blood from the kitty and get some blood work done. We would also love to get a fecal so that we can check for any internal parasites. And those would be my top two choices for lab work.
So how does the wellness impact the longevity and health of my cat?
Yeah, so the best thing to do would be to get an annual wellness, and each annual wellness that we do, as vets, we're able to see the progression of the animal and see whether or not they're sick or if something has changed, especially in the lab work. We're able to see objectively on whether or not things have gotten worse or maybe even gotten better if they've suffered from a previous illness.
So what are some signs and symptoms that my cat might not be feeling well?
Usually for a lot of kitties, you have a very, very hard time seeing whether or not they're sick. But some of the things that you can see would be hiding, or if they don't feel well enough to eat, don't feel well enough to drink water. Sometimes with some kitties, like I said earlier before, that have upper respiratory infections tend to have really watery discharge from the eyes and the nose.
So why is early detection so important in the well-being of my cat?
Early detection allows us to treat the animal a lot easier or a lot better than if they were sick for a really, really long time. It helps us treat the animal when they are relatively healthy enough in order to fight the disease themselves as well.